Coming to you live from my apartment, it's Rob Has a Podcast. And now here's the guy who's trying to still catch his breath after that veto ceremony. I'm Rob Cesternino. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a jam-packed Wednesday night Big Brother, as we got a lot to talk about here tonight, and a lot is still to be determined about who goes home on Thursday. I'm very much looking forward to this one. And of course, we're back here with the man who sees it all, Taran Armstrong. Taran, how are you?
Rob, I'm here because I love...
This is Big Brother.
Big Brother.
Yes. This is big freaking brother.
Big freaking brother.
Hold on, can we combine these?
Oh no, this is Big Brother. Big freaking brother.
Yeah. All right. Okay, we got a lot to break down. Of course, very excited to be back here with my Claim to Fame podcast co-host. We got to record that later on tonight, Jenny Autumn.
True. Yes.
I'm
very
counterintuitive for us to be together podcasting at the same time. The other show we podcast is on, but
it's giving Paul playing Candy Crush.
TKO,
yeah. Listen, I will save you from what my heart wants tonight, which is to do this entire podcast in some sort of amalgamation of like a British and Australian accent to honor Tucker in his challenge mode. I don't know what is happening.
Yeah, so you want to talk like this, Jenny?
All right, there we go. Through the cave. Everyone watch your head. Watch the stalagmites, the stalactites. They drip down, they drip up.
Yeah, that's what you can get from me, and it's just going to be directions, actually.
Yeah. All right.
I mean, I hear that, and I'm just immediately like, yeah, I'm crushing on Tucker. You know, like it's just,
Aaron goes next,
it's working.
okay, and then Rob, QT, what do you have to say about it?
Jenny, stop! I'm gonna get a crush on you too.
Sorry,
right.
Taran.
I was hoping that you stalagmite, and you did. So, okay. And then, very nice to have back here with us from the circle, QT, how are you?
I am doing amazing. I'm just happy that we got our Angela Puppet Master arc that I have been waiting for. Just everything's going her way in Big Brother, honestly. It couldn't get better for her right now.
Yeah, everything's turning up. Angela, she's a genius. Kevin Jacobs just wrote about it over on realitytvnewsletters.com, and a lot to talk about here tonight. But at this hour, I think that America has a big decision to make, and so let's talk about it. Here we go. Decision 2024. Who will America put up onto... Hold on, we don't want to block out QT's face. Here, try this one. Okay, try it out. All right. Decision 2024. Who will America put up onto the block? 9 candidates are on the debate stage, and America will vote soon.
Yeah, this graphic is wrong though. I don't know who pulled this one. It has some people that aren't eligible. So T-Core, Cam, Joseph, Chemo, Brooklyn, Chelsea, Leah, and Rubina. They should all say Quinn. And
well, they
I'm
have to include
confused.
people that are on the show, Taran, and I feel like these are stock photos of people that they like. It's like the fake casting releases.
Yeah, this is the leaked cast.
I'm pretty sure in order to be voted for, you have to have been on the episode. I don't know half these people.
All right, and I'm getting word in my ear. Rob Has a Podcast is officially we're calling it. Rob Has a Podcast confirms Quinn will be the third nominee.
I'm ready to call that.
2 minutes into the podcast.
Yes. Can we change the graphic? We're that our decision desk, they study all the numbers. They're looking at everything. And RHAP is calling it. Quinn is officially on the block Thursday night. It's official.
I'm not willing to claim that yet, honestly. I don't stand with RHAP in this.
Hold on.
Oh, man.
Because I was going to put some money down.
Oh, we're gambling tonight? Hell
I'm
yeah.
willing to put money down.
I don't know if I'm willing to bet it.
Yes. Okay. All right. So QT. We've called it already. Are you saying that that there is still votes and ballots to be counted?
Yeah, I just refuse to believe that my vote does not matter, and I'm not voting for Quinn. So
Who are you voting for, QT?
Ooh, I'm voting for Joseph.
Joseph.
A few days ago, he was on the live feed saying, I don't think there's any way that I get voted up there. And as soon as he said that, I was like, you have my vote.
Yeah. I mean,
well, my vote really doesn't count as a Canadian, but I'm very excited to be a part of the most exciting vote for America in 2024.
Okay. Well, let me just ask real quick. So, Taran, what are the logistics on the voting here? That this is you vote online, or is it text?
You know what? I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think it's
Yeah,
online. I
Where's the
already
small
put my
print?
votes in.
Where's the small print? And when does the voting open up after the Pacific viewing, or is voting open now?
Ooh.
It's open now. I already put my votes in for Joseph.
Oh, all right. Here we
Time
go.
to fire up the VPN, guys.
All right, we got it going on.
Vote early,
here.
vote
okay,
often.
let's check it out.
Maybe we
Okay.
should listen to QT as the only one that actually.
Yeah,
voted.
America. Who do you want nominated for eviction? Okay, so QT, you've already gone and voted.
Yeah.
Were you registered early? How did you get in so quick?
I mailed in my ballot, actually.
Oh my god.
Yeah,
I didn't
Okay.
know CBS.com still existed. I'm not gonna lie.
yeah. I thought everything was Paramount Plus. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, it's very hard to imagine the scenario where it's not Quinn. That there's so many of these people who have just gotten almost no airtime. Brooklyn has not been seen on the show at all. You know, even Rabina has been pretty quiet on the show. We got a little T-Car tonight, but it's got to be Quinn, just because that not only was there already the tide against him from, any sort of negativity from last week, but in this episode, I think that probably, and again, this is unofficial vibes polling for me, I would think the most popular character on the show is Tucker.
Yeah.
And this is what Tucker wants.
Yes, Rob. This was Tucker's final diary room of the episode.
I guess Cedric didn't have the balls to put Quinn up there, so.
Yeah. And then
Dot,
I
dot,
thought then I feel like that production really buried Quinn by having Quinn with a very cocky confessional to like the last thing we heard was like, I got this, like mustache twirly, like Quinn's going on the block.
This was what they invented the phrase beating a dead horse for. Because they went so over the top in making sure that, again, like it's being blatantly told to us by, Cedric doesn't have the balls to put up Quinn, so does America, essentially? And then we're getting diary rooms from Quinn that are like...
I'll be honest, it's been real easy to lie to these people.
Yeah.
I will say, like, yeah, I completely agree. Obviously, that is the most, based on the edit, that is the most obvious thing that they're signaling here. But I also think, given the narrative of like what has happened and the available people to be voted, like, I just can't imagine how they could really do much with a lot of the, like, so many of the other people that they could have like villainized, are not eligible to be voted here. So I think, which it's really too bad, because it's like there's really, in terms of people that have been big parts of the episodes thus far, and we're really like wrapped into this narrative, at least how it was presented to us, like it couldn't be anybody else. How are they going to, within the episode, make us feel like it makes sense for us to vote for Cam or Joseph or Leah? Like,
I have
yes,
a million ideas for you.
there is, of course, the footage is there, but also if they haven't really done that much with them prior to this, like it would, like, I just, knowing
Jenny,
how they edit the show, when would they have done that? Like, how
if they
would they have
wanted
done
to,
that?
they absolutely could.
Sure,
1,000%.
Yeah.
Just like every other thing, if they wanted
right.
to, they would. But
the thing is, they didn't want to. They want Quinn on the block.
Yeah, but
Yeah, I
Taran,
mean,
do they
they
want
very well
Quinn to
could.
go home?
I think they do, personally.
they should want
Interesting.
Kenny to
Why?
go.
Because for a multitude of reasons. One of which is that I don't think they like Quinn very much in the first place. But second of which is that there are two powers in the game, and Quinn's has already run its course. Quinn's power next week is a dud if he uses it. He's probably just gonna nominate the same people. Everybody already knows about it. The deepfake aspect is already spent. They spent all this money on a hologram, and nobody's even gonna care about it. Whereas America's veto can still have a massive impact on the game if Quinn goes up and goes home. Whereas if Quinn doesn't go up and doesn't go home, then both powers have basically been duds. And I think they really like Tucker. Tucker is their new Matt.
Sure.
And they really want Tucker to succeed.
But I understand. Okay, the power is a dud, but I just feel like that Quinn is giving them a lot. I mean, I feel like if they didn't like him, they would not show him in the diary room. They wouldn't give us so much Quinn on the episodes.
I could be wrong about them not wanting to go home, but they certainly want him to go on the block, and he certainly could go home. So at the very least, they're very willing to.
Yeah,
my takeaway from the episode, I think it really speaks to some of what you've been talking about on the live feed updates, Taran, is that I think that production is desperate for Kenny to go home tomorrow night. And I feel like this would be great drama to see Quinn go up on the block, potentially come off the block, and then have Kenny go home. I think that's a win-win-win for everybody. QT, do you think that the show might want Quinn out?
The only thing is, I thought too that they would want Kenny out 100%. And then in this episode, they dedicated a full 5-minute segment to the fact that Kenny wants to go, then doesn't want to go. They're making it
they
like
buried
a bit.
him. I thought they made Kenny look very dumb tonight.
Yeah, but I think the fact that they even put it out there means that they're willing for it to be like this funny bit of oh my gosh, imagine Kenny gets to the end and he had this thing in episode 10 that happened about him not wanting to go.
When Kenny is Tucker's right-hand man next week, when after Quinn gets evicted and Tucker wins HOH, they're gonna love Kenny. You know, you know what I mean? I think what this episode showed us is that they are extremely pro Tucker, to the point that they mangled the reality of what happened in this episode in order to suit him.
Yeah.
Tell us, Taran, what did they mangle?
Well, okay, so it's honestly too much to even say in a brief period of time. But basically, what I like in this too, as I was watching this on Twitch, was when they hyped this up as the most exciting, dramatic veto ceremony of all time. It was like if they had hyped up Dan's funeral and been like, this is the best move of all time. And then they didn't show Dan talking to Frank before the veto ceremony. They just skipped an entire massive chunk of what happened. The primary part of which is that Cedric told Tucker, don't use the veto on Angela, use it on yourself. I'm not going to make this move. Which they entirely skipped over and made it seem like Tucker was tricked into doing this, which is what Tucker is now yelling at Cedric for.
Taran, maybe they don't have flashback either, and they couldn't find that part. Okay, they just didn't know that happened.
Yeah, they just missed it.
They don't have flashback option.
Maybe
either.
this was stylistically done from Tucker's POV, not power of veto, but from Tucker's perspective. This is how things played out, and he is the main character of the story.
And some people are saying oh, well, maybe they'll just show it later. But there's a reason why we didn't see it now, which is that it suits the narrative now. And then later we'll find out the truth. Maybe.
Yeah. Okay. What else, Taran?
So there's a lot of stuff surrounding the collective, which has been completely removed from the edit. A large reason why, basically all of the reason why Cedric didn't decide to make this move was because he didn't want to ruin what he had going with the collective, in addition to the Pentagon. Joseph was a heavy part of this. Joseph knew about the power. We're talking about could we have sunk Joseph in this edit? Joseph is on feeds, not just in the diary room where they tell you what to say, but on feeds saying, I'm the star of the show, which would have been very funny to include in the episodes. There's a whole section with Cam and Leah and their whole showmancy thing, which was a lot of drama, and Leah has turned on Quinn because of this and had a whole thing there. Cedric and Cam also not pro Quinn by any means. but just decided they want to placate him. And so they actually told Quinn and warned him that Tucker was going after him ahead of time as well. And so there was a ton of stuff there. And so there's a lot missing here.
Okay. Nevertheless,
It's overwhelming.
we're going to see somebody go home on Thursday night. And Jenny, do you have a horse in the race? Are you hoping to see somebody go up on the block?
Am I hoping to see someone go up on the block? No. I'm hoping to see whoever goes on the block be the person that can ensure that it's Kenny that goes home. That is my only horse in this race.
Well, let's just talk through
Put him to
scenarios.
bed.
Okay. All right. So if Quinn wins the AI arena, Tucker and Kenny sit on the block, Kenny will go home, correct?
If Kenny's on the block, he's going home.
11-0 or 10-0?
Maybe not that dramatically, but
I don't care what the vote is as long as he goes.
Okay. All right. If Tucker, who's so confident, he's throwing in Cedric's face like, I can't wait to go on the block with you and I'll beat you in AI arena and then you'll go home. He's so confident. He won one AI arena contest. And if he wins and Quinn sits on the block with Kenny.
If Quinn is on the block against Kenny, Kenny is more likely to go home, but it's not impossible that Quinn doesn't go home.
Okay.
Quinn is the only person Kenny can sit next to where he has a chance to stay. The only person.
Yikes. I don't like this. I want Quinn to stay. I don't care if he thinks Rob is a podcast is a bad name. I want him to stay.
I think here's the thing. What the ideal situation for me, I think, in terms of entertainment and drama at continuing past tomorrow night is Quinn goes up, which I think we all feel like is the foregone conclusion at this point. But he either he wins the AI arena or Tucker wins the AI arena and Kenny goes home. And now there's all this like, you know, festering drama, and we get to see it play out, and we get someone off the board that isn't going to contribute, wants to go home anyway. I think that is probably Quinn gets spooked. He might get in his head. He's a super fan. He's like, oh my God, I got voted as the third nom. Like, I do think that could be really fun. I don't want him to go. I want to go the person to go that does literally. There was a whole segment about them not wanting to be there.
Right.
Like that's who I want to get.
It would be okay if they rig the show tomorrow just to make sure that we get
By the way,
and Tucker to stay.
No, by the way, there's so many times in Big Brother where I feel like as super fans, we're like, okay, it's okay if you rig it a little bit. Like Janelle going home in 22, it's like, okay, maybe like keep her around. Don't put her up, you know? So there's a few times where I'm like, yeah, you can rig something. And I would not mind. I'd turn the blind eye. I wouldn't say a thing about it. Just like allow it to happen, please.
For the record, I disagree.
You disagree, Taran?
Of course.
Come on. If Kenny
anti-rig.
if everybody's going nuts, you're gonna say, hey, everybody, listen, this was for the better good that Kenny is staying, everybody.
Listen, the reason I'm annoyed at this episode is, well, I think it's missed opportunity. I think it was I'm sure this episode is fine for people that don't know what actually happened, but like this was so entertaining on the feeds, and I feel like they missed like 80% at least of like the good stuff they had here. Mackenzie was planning to not use this veto. They didn't have that in there either. But the reason I'm annoyed about it is because I don't like when somebody is blatantly trying to manipulate me. Like when they include this diary room.
I'll be honest, it's been real easy to lie to these people.
That's production talking to us with this edit. Like you know what I mean? Like I like Big Brother because of the live feeds. I don't like manipulative edits, and this was a very manipulative edit.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Can I ask you another question that we heard here tonight when Kenny was talking about how he wanted to win the veto and use it on Angela just to mess with everybody? Is that real? That was really something that he wanted?
Well, Rob, he also said right after the veto competition, well, competing in that veto competition reinvigorated my fighting spirit. So even though I'm not going to be able to use the veto on myself, I'm still going to fight. So what happened to the Angela plan? You lost and you gave up on the Angela. You didn't even, like, you could have been like, man, I would have used it on Angela. But he lost and he still is like, no, I probably wouldn't have used it on Angela after all.
I think that just
Also,
speaks
why
to
Angela?
how much. Well, that's what I'm saying. I think it speaks to how much of a puppet master Angela really is.
Yes. Okay.
It's that they're in love and they haven't shown it. They did this whole edit on Sunday about the unrequited showmances, and
Jenny's a Kendula shipper.
Yeah, exactly. Kendula stands rise. They weren't showing that, Kenny has been growing this affection for Angela. Look at how the passion she has to be there, that he so sorely lacks. It doesn't matter that he's working with Tucker and that's the other person on the block. He's grown this love and appreciation for Angela, and he wants to preserve her game. And I think that it's an absolute robbery. I think it's ageism that they're not showing this on the show. It's messed up, and that's the true showmans that they have not been giving us on the edited show. It's messed up.
Okay. One other scenario heading into Thursday night: if somehow Kenny wins the AI arena, okay, and Taran can sleep soundly that it was not rigged, Kenny has won the AI arena, and it's Tucker versus Quinn. Is there a chance Tucker could go, or it's a slam dunk? It's Quinn.
It's more likely Tucker right now.
Interesting.
Yeah, but it's not. It's worse for Quinn. It could be Quinn, but right now I'd say it's slightly more likely Tucker.
Can you just give us the lay of the land? Like, who are the swing votes? Who is this hinging on?
It's there are a lot of swing votes. It's a very close vote. So all of the collective, the Pentagon. Well, I shouldn't say all of the Pentagon are on Quinn's side. So Brooklyn, Chelsea, Cam are all votes for Quinn to stay. Then he should have some other votes like Joseph. Joseph should be a vote for Quinn. Then theoretically, Chemo and T-Core should be votes for Quinn. But that is not a guarantee.
Chemo's going to keep Quinn over Tucker?
It gets a little tricky there. So there are a lot of votes locked against Quinn. So like Angela, Rubina, maybe Rubina against Tucker, definitely a vote against Quinn. Then you have Leah, who, as I mentioned, has now kind of turned on Quinn, although things are a little messier than that right now.
Yeah.
Mackenzie would likely vote Quinn. And so all of a sudden you've got 4 votes against Quinn, and you need 6. And then again, it comes down to votes like Chemo, T-Core, Joseph. I think T-Core leans keeping Quinn over Tucker, but Chemo leans keeping Tucker over Quinn. And so it gets very close and very sticky.
We need the whiteboard tonight, Taran.
It sounds like a Tucker versus Quinn at the end of Eviction night is like what we want. So I'm kind of rooting for Kenny win of AI.
I'm sorry,
for
Kiki, I can't.
with Taran.
It's exciting for like 2 minutes of television, and then Kenny's there for another week at least.
Right.
At least.
But then he'll really
on the
wanna
block
start playing,
every week, quitting. And then we're getting thumbs up, thumbs
Jenny,
down.
He's not quitting.
Better believe I'm not giving up.
For the next 5 minutes.
Oh my gosh. How annoying.
Let this man go home.
Let's talk about some of what we saw in the episode. Really, the story tonight was the leak of the Quinn's power. We saw Chemo confirm to Tucker about the power against the backdrop of the reveal of the crush on Tucker.
Okay, Tucker is gorgeous. Duh. But there genuinely is trust there.
Yeah.
I want Tucker's
Don't trust the gorgeous man.
I want Tucker's gorgeous duh on a t-shirt.
Tucker's gorgeous.
You should make
duh.
him wear-
I'd wear it.
Yeah. Jenny, do you feel like, did they do Chemo a little dirty here tonight? That he was like head over heels for Tucker and told him the plan?
I mean, not as much as they could have. But I mean, Chemo openly admits that he had a bit of the loose lips on account of his personal emotional feelings. So I think that
Chemo did himself dirty, Rob.
yeah, that's the thing. He's just speaking what happened. You know what I mean? He's just telling us what happened. And haven't we all been there? Just saying what we shouldn't say to
On reality shows, can't relate,
sexy,
Jenny.
silly man. And then we're like, oops. Oh.
I think that was a sound clip from Survivor of the Amazon. I think it was left over. CBS still had it on the hard drive.
Yeah, they've got all the hits ready to go for this.
Yeah, but he tells Tucker, okay, that Quinn does have the power, reveals what it is, and Tucker is now set on. He's been sniffing out these powers for weeks, Taran.
Yeah, and he thinks it would be stupid to not target people who have powers. Now, he's also like not really taking into account that it would also be kind of stupid to not target somebody who's winning a bunch of competitions. But as the person winning a bunch of competitions, he thinks that they should be targeting the powers, and he's not wrong.
It's very focused on that. We get to the lengthy veto competition, and I just feel like, Taran, we were talking on Sunday night about the Ainsley land of like, what are we even doing with this Candyland setup? And then I was like, I had secondhand embarrassment for Cedric tonight as he had to read the card of like what the plot was of the veto competition, and here's what he had to say.
Oh God.
Ainsley's power has been drained by all the drama in the Big Brother house,
Okay.
and she needs your help to recharge. Unfortunately, the core that is the source of her power has been hidden within this AI-created temple deep within a digital jungle.
What?
No, literally.
Those are just
not
words.
your house. I didn't say
That's me trying to explain the plot of my favorite fantasy novel. Like
That's
Honestly,
me
yeah.
anytime
That's
anyone's
right.
describing a board game and how we play it. Like, okay, you just you have to recharge the core
Yeah.
and through
So-
the
Yeah.
digital jungle. I'm like, can we just play?
QT. So
Can we just do it?
When there's too much drama in the Big Brother house, it drains Ainsley's power.
I don't know. I feel like then Ainsley would just always be dead.
Which I
Question
think-
mark.
Well, I don't know.
Well, is that why
Ainsley
she
seemed
hasn't
pretty
been on?
charged.
that's
for the
why
last
they
couple-
cut so much of the drama from the feeds and the
Yes.
episode.
Angela.
They have to-
That makes sense. They have to
Yeah.
power up Ainsley. Also,
We
this
can't give
competition.
too much Angela.
Do you guys
Training
remember there was this show on Nickelodeon back in the day called Legends of the Hidden Temple?
Yes.
That's what this competition was giving me. And I always wanted to be on Legends of the Hidden Temple. So I think I might have done good.
I think that's not fair to Legends of the Hidden Temple,
Okay.
which is very watchable.
And
it was
not
like
to,
the knockoff Little Brother.
Yeah, not to like give too much thought to this, but like that the jungle with the batteries hidden is AI generated, but I thought Ainsley was the AI.
No.
Is this like when I can't find the keys that I left somewhere in my own house? Like I'm in a maze of my own creation.
There's no point to try to make sense of it because it just does not make sense. But like no Big Brother competition ever really makes sense. Like they try to connect the dots.
Yeah. But don't
Just
even
watch and move on.
bother trying to make this an Ainsley thing. It's just like, all right, today we're in the jungle and we got to get this this piece of bamboo through here.
Like people who are casuals like might actually forget who Ainsley is and is like, oh, is that another house guest that I can vote
She
for?
showed up tonight.
Jenny,
Like,
I am that person constantly. Every time they say Ainsley, I'm like,
who?
who? Or worse, I'm like, why are they talking about Mackenzie like that? Like, what did Mackenzie do that they're talking about her like this? Like, honestly, I'm still not to the point where I'm instantly recognizing Ainsley's name. It always takes me a second.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think it's just that she had like the core has been, completely depleted of the energy, and that's why
T-core.
No, she's like slowly charging herself up.
Mhm.
But I don't know why they just dropped the Ainsley thing, but they're just dropping the name. They're like, they only had the budget to do the graphics for like 2 episodes, and now they're just like, all right, we blew the graphics.
We can't afford the 3rd grader we hired to make this anymore.
Yeah. So we're hoping they remember those first few episodes where she came up on the screen, and we're just gonna like weave her into the narrative of every challenge and just hope that that's enough.
They could have just used the actress that they used for the first episode, like get her
I
booked
wish they
for a
would.
few hours and just have her film the stuff for all of these HOH and veto competitions.
I think they're using the same like Ainsley 10-second loop for every single time she's there, and then just dubbing the voice in. Like, I don't think this is a new Ainsley animation every single time. I think it's just they have like one GIF of Ainsley and they just play it every time.
Maybe they only bought so many minutes of rights to that graphic, like, and so they're like they blew their budget really quickly.
Our budget is 30 cents. What can we make?
No, but they spent more money on that thing, the machine that like she comes up on when it's right next to the TV that they could have spent more money on the budget of Ainsley, and
they could have got a Google
TV
Chrome and figured it out,
All right. Well, all right. Everybody was going through the competition. I was surprised that we actually got a Friends reference from Mackenzie. She talked about Ross and the couch.
All I'm hearing is Ross from Friends yelling, "Pivot, pivot."
Wow.
Love that reference. That was fun.
Yeah. Surprised.
Couch references this week, I feel.
Yes, it's very topical.
Yeah.
They wouldn't even know.
Yeah.
They have no idea. Julie will tell them. It's fine.
Yeah, once they get evicted.
Mhm. Anything else of note? Angela seemed like she was really struggling.
Rob, I'm not always the best judge of these things because I hate most competitions and I think that most of them are boring. But this to me was really boring. Like, I felt like I was watching people holding a thing and going, oh no. Oh, but like I can't even see the things until they light them up in the graph. I'm just watching. I don't even know where they are relative to the whole. Like I was just. It was so. And it felt like it lasted forever. When Kenny came up, I was like, "There's another one."
Still Kenny. At least, the most fun part of it for me was just hearing what people's different word they say when they bump into things is. Like, Mackenzie's like a big fudge person. Like, she was like, fudge. And then Angela was like, oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God. And then Tucker was just straight British Australian accent the entire time. But I think that's just him at all times when he's in the zone. That was the interesting part of it for me, is just finding out what people say.
Yeah, honestly, people could have been hitting into those branches and stuff, and they could have just lit it up, and I would have been like, okay, yeah, they did. It's hard to even tell whether or not they actually hit the thing.
Yeah.
Make it a montage. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, they were cutting back and forth between Tucker and Kenny at the end, so at least that was something. Ultimately, we see Tucker wins another competition, and here we go again.
Like I've said before, risk it for the biscuit, and your boy likes biscuits.
Likes biscuits.
I love it. Add it to the list. I started a notes app with a list of all the things Tucker loves. Puzzles, biscuits.
Anything else?
Not Cedric anymore.
I really like puzzles, baby. I really like puzzles, baby.
I couldn't even hear what you just played until right now because my Siri thought that I was asking about biscuits. And she's back.
Yeah.
It keeps just pulling up biscuits.
What
the
did
recipe for a biscuit.
SIRI think you were asking about biscuit? For recipes?
Yeah, for a
to
recipe.
taste the
Might have to
biscuit?
make some.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay.
I love that.
All right. So Tucker is feeling it, and he wins veto. Taran, is there any part of Tucker that's like, okay, I'm winning all these comps, and so now I'm getting bolder with my plans because I'm winning comps?
I don't know if he's getting bolder or if he's just still the same Tucker. But like he definitely feels like he can't lose a competition. That he definitely feels that way, and he also is very comfortable saying that to everyone in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, I'm gonna win the AI arena competition. That's why I need to stay on the block because I'm going to win the AI arena competition.
I just feel like this is a very small sample size of what he has actually done to be
Comp,
this
Rob.
confident.
Listen, when we've only had a couple episodes, it's like, in terms of the math, I feel like
He's won
he's
two
got some-
competitions. One was a 3-person competition against Angela and Lisa.
How
Mhm.
dare you?
I mean,
Lisa had one before that,
to be fair,
and so did Angela.
if
They
he
both won
watched last season, he'd have a reason to feel this way.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's facts. I mean, it's a little early in the season to just be like, let me be the person that, is outright winning in a very obvious way every week. But they can't make me hate him. I'm sorry.
I mean, I want him to stay too. I think that he's very fun. And, look, anybody that's giving us stuff, I mean, like, this has always been my philosophy with Big Brother. If you are bringing entertainment to the program, then I want you to stay. And if you are not, I want you to go. And that can change at any moment. Okay. If you cease to be entertaining, then I want you to go.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, that's the whole reason we watch the shows. For
That's
the
what we're
entertainment
watching.
value. Yeah.
Right.
And I want to see people that want to play, which is why, even though I joke, I do want Kenny to go because it's like tired already.
And I don't want people that are just messy and have 0% chance to win and no allies, because then it just feels like we're prolonging the inevitable. I think it would be more fun if Tucker stays and he has at least a little faction of people, because I don't want him to just stay and then now all of a sudden it's like he's lost a lot of goodwill and he's winning comps, so everyone's just like the next thing of the house is, okay, we've got to get Tucker out somehow, and that
Underdog
takes
Tucker
over.
will be great. We'll love that.
But he needs a friend.
We
and
don't
I don't
want
want
it to
the
turn
friend to
into
be
Big
Kenny,
Brother
'cause Kenny
Canada
needs to
11.
go. Yeah.
I don't think that'll happen. I think that Tucker, he certainly has his moments, but he also has all of this mist where people are falling all over themselves.
He has an army of people who have a crush on him.
Yeah. So that's powerful. That's something.
It is crazy, though, that he just keeps offering himself up as a pawn. And I think it's also a testament to the fact that he feels like he can just win everything. And because there's so many competitions in between when you first nominate it to where the actual eviction comes, he just feels untouchable. So he's going to keep nominating himself, which is crazy. But I fear that he could go sooner than later because of that. Sorry, my Siri keeps thinking that I'm talking to her, and it's driving me nuts.
You're not even saying the S word.
Besides biscuits, what else would you
imagine if
like?
you were on the podcast last season.
Oh my gosh. It's every time I talk about Tucker, I think Tucker has something to do with this. Honestly.
Oh my God, she's got a crush on him too.
She has a crush on him.
Honestly.
Yeah. But Tucker has a lot going on, that he has obviously this proficiency in the competitions, and he has all the confidence in the world. The problem is he just has...
This is a very stupid move.
It's really his one Achilles heel, is that he has a ton of horrible ideas.
Yeah. That would be a problem in Big Brother.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. All right. So let's get to then after the veto ceremony. Okay. Now the slow motion car wreck starts to come together. And after we see that Cedric needs a renom, he goes to MJ, fishing for a pawn. And she's like, no, not here.
Yes. And this did happen, but it's the opposite of what ended up happening, which is that she did eventually volunteer and plan to not use the veto.
Interesting. She was so defiant. And it's like, I'm not going to be a pawn.
Yes. Surprise, surprise. The episode portrayed it to be the exact opposite of what it was.
Yeah. She's I'm not doing that.
Yeah. Also, I feel like this is kind of Cedric's downfall this whole week. It's kind of been is that he doesn't take initiative, or he doesn't just like take things in his own hands. He has to ask everyone like, oh, are you okay doing this? He like wants everyone to kind of feel included in the decision, even when it's a decision of putting them on the block. And it's just kind of annoying, I feel like, when he keeps asking people these things, especially Mackenzie. Why would you ask her knowing she has the power and she's probably going to use the power? That's not going to be good for you. Like, I don't know. It's just too much. I hate when an HOH asks everyone in the house if they're willing to be a pawn.
I also understand it from like Mackenzie's perspective. Like, if you have a power, and am I right that it's the same as Quinn's and it has to be used by a certain time?
Yeah, by next week.
Yeah.
Next week is
Okay.
last week.
So it doesn't have a long expiry that you can like hold on to it till you really need it. Like, it's almost the same as sitting with an immunity idol and, being like knowing your name is out there. When the two people that are on the potentially on the block beside you as a pawn are Angela and Kenny, who are somehow surviving and being protected, and no one sees them as threats, and you are a person that isn't super well connected in the game, but also like a physical competitor, like, a potential force in the game. I could completely understand the fear of like, it would be no worse feeling than getting put up as a replacement nominee, having the ability to save myself in that moment and not doing it, and letting people, you can't bank on I can beat like Kenny and Angela in the AI arena. You have a power. You don't even know that what happens next week is anything you would care about enough to use it anyway. So why not protect yourself? So even though we know, like, we had all of the information leading up to know that she probably would be okay and didn't need to use it, I completely defend her decision to use it there, especially considering all of the unpredictable chaos, like someone using the, veto on Angela. That's wild. So I think she did the right thing. For her to expect like to be safe and just sit on that power, I would never want to do that either.
Yeah, Taran, it was pretty ballsy of Cedric to go to Mackenzie. He knows she has the power, and then ask her like, okay, I want you to go be a pawn, but don't use your power. Just sit there and don't use the power.
So to be fair, I will defend Cedric a little bit here because for a couple of reasons, and I do think he misplayed his HOH. We talked a lot about it on the roundtable last night. And I think that part of how he misplayed the HOH was that he really opened up the door for Tucker to feel this way about him and to push this plan on him. But in terms of the volunteering, he had 3 volunteers for initial nominations. It's very much an environment of volunteering in the house. And ultimately, as I've mentioned, he did get Mackenzie to agree. And he didn't push her to not use the power necessarily. That came a little bit later. It was more like, hey, whoever goes up is definitely lock safe. The pitch was more so, I need somebody that's going to be able to win the AI arena so that we can prevent Kenny or Angela from taking themselves down. Because at the time, Mackenzie thought that Tucker would be taking himself off the block. And so it was actually Brooklyn, who Mackenzie really trusts, who convinced her that she shouldn't even use the power because she doesn't need to, and that she should save it for next week. And so with that in mind, Mackenzie was like, okay, Tucker takes himself down. I go up. I know for a fact that the numbers are there to vote out either Kenny or Angela. I'm not even going to use the power. I can probably beat them in AI. And even if I don't, they're still being voted out ahead of me. And I should save my power for next week. I'm lock safe next week. But then she's surprised and blindsided by Tucker using the veto on Angela instead of himself. And so she rightfully changes her plan that she probably shouldn't have had in the first place.
Okay.
which was very exciting and all kinds of like interesting. But of course, none of it was in the episode.
We did get to see that America's Veto ultimately get played. Okay, Tucker has the plan. We didn't see a ton of pushback from Cedric in the episode at all about this. And so we went, okay, right into it. And we spent the time in the veto meeting. Okay, what's Tucker going to do? And he ends up using the veto to save Angela.
Oh my god! Oh my god! Oh my god! I had no idea. None.
I just love seeing Angela get surprised.
Me too. I also love that she like tells everyone I had no idea, just so that no one thinks that she was in on the plan at all. But she's just so excited to still be there.
I can't believe it. I can't. Oh my God. Wow.
It's such a low bar, but I'm also like so happy that she just actively wants to be there. Like Kenny would have been pissed if it had been used on him.
Be like, oh, how am I supposed to go? I don't have a choice to now. If I want to go home, I have to quit. And they told me that I don't get paid if I leave on my own.
It's okay. He doesn't need to get paid. He has whatever he has back at home is worth more than 750,000. So it's worth
He's
more than
eating good
even
now.
getting
Pretty
paid to
good.
be there.
Yeah.
Why
no,
did you come? Why did you come here, Kenny?
Literally.
it's a good question.
Mhm.
question.
But why are you here?
I don't
People who
know.
love their family that much should just stay home.
Yeah. We only want people on Big Brother that do not want to be around their family, because then we don't get shout outs in the diary room when they're voting,
Yeah.
because they don't give a shit.
I
they
mean-
don't want to say hi to anyone.
Jenny
They
Brooklyn
said that
did
all I
that.
care about
is
is
a
right
married
here.
mother. Does she say
As a
she needs to
married
go home
mother.
every 5 seconds?
Yeah.
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 You know, let's find some people that aren't obsessed with their family.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
people
that
need
should
a
be the
break.
new casting criteria. Do you hate your family?
You don't have to hate them, but you could want a
Okay.
vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just really not.
Especially this time of year, Jenny. Your kids are home from school for 2 months already.
Maybe that's a case for
I'll
starting the
go.
season later.
Yeah.
Just wait till everyone's burnt out. Listen, you know, if casting, if we can get married mothers, but that are like dead sick of their kids, and they're gonna be like crazy, like Angela.
I've got
Then
just the
I'm all
person,
for it.
Jenny.
More of that.
Brooklyn did say that when she was like kidnapped or whatever to go on the show, that one of her daughters was like hysterically crying, and she just kind of like put her in a room and was like, she'll be okay, and then kept going. I feel like that's the mindset you have to have.
Cold-blooded. That's what you need to win this
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
Okay?
Listen.
That's why Brooklyn's doing great. All right. So, all right. Angela, blindsided. Tucker was feeling good. This is his decision. He's sticking to it. And then Cedric says, okay, Mackenzie. Taran, I couldn't believe just how, like, open Tucker was about this betrayal at the, like, he just laid everything on the table about Cedric.
I mean, I couldn't believe he did this despite being told explicitly not to. Like, again, this wasn't in the episode, but
Yeah.
Cedric went to Tucker and said, use the veto on yourself. We don't have the numbers. I don't want to do it. And Tucker said, I don't give a
Crikey.
I'm going to do it anyway. And then had the gall to be like, how dare you not follow through?
Yeah, I got the fight. Here's Tucker versus Cedric.
I'll remember, bro. Hope you're up here next time battling me in the AI arena.
We gotta play.
Yeah, we do. It's not a
Lit.
smart move.
You know?
There's better players in here that you should put up with stronger power-ups. And you just blindsided me, so good luck whenever I'm battling you out there, bro.
Yeah.
Okay.
All that I heard from that is that Tucker is about to put himself up as a pawn again next week so that he can
That's
be in the
right.
AI
Oh, yeah.
competition.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also
crazy, never
like the bravado of like, I'll see you in the AI arena. Want to go outside? Take it to the AI or take it to the AI
flagpole.
arena like men?
Yeah, it's the flagpole of the BB26.
Yeah. There's Rob. There's more of that to come. Believe me.
Cedric's
Yeah.
just like, all right, man.
Okay.
That's the
Yes.
little brother.
Sure.
Yeah.
I love Cedric's reaction to the whole thing. This is like how Cedric just reacts to everything, but I feel like it riles the other person up so much more because when that person is like going crazy and you're just kind of like, yeah, okay. That's when you like really get a reaction. That's what I do to my mom. Honestly, she's probably watching this. She's gonna get mad at me. But when my mom gets mad at me, I'm like, okay, you look crazy. And it drives her nuts. I love to do that every time. Sorry, mommy.
No, it's a great strategy and it's so true. It's like nothing enrages the person more than not getting the reaction they expect and not meeting their energy and just being like, oh my God, you're so composed while I'm acting crazy. I hate this so much. Why are you like this?
Meg in the chat says the AI arena is Tucker's Hall Brawl.
Seriously.
He would be great on the challenge.
Oh yeah.
Oh, he'll definitely.
Oh
be
yeah.
Great.
I mean, that's perfect for him.
Rob, he was
Now,
bred for it.
if it's not a puzzle tomorrow, and it's something else, is he going to say, I love whatever that is? Like, I don't know. I love clown shoe.
Yeah. I love scavenger hunts. We'll see. Yeah, Jenny, do you think is this like British character one of his things that he slips into?
I don't know.
Is he a character actor?
He's always doing different voices. It's not always accents. Like, did you notice, Rob, right before? Okay, there was 2 points that he did like a Tony Vlachos, like, ooh. Like, I don't know if anyone caught this, but right before the veto meeting, before he goes out, and then he also does a weird voice where he's like, hey guys, it's time for the veto meeting. I don't know I can't remember, but I know it was weird. He did I swear, it might have been when he was putting on the veto necklace.
Oh.
Anyway, if anyone can go back. Yeah.
I needed this. Ooh.
It was literally
Was it that or was it this?
That.
Oh,
it was kind of like a hybrid of that, honestly. It's like he loves a mashup.
Yeah. Okay. It's exciting. All right. Tomorrow night, they promise the house will blow up. Taran, are they being hyperbolic?
No.
Okay.
Wait, are we not going to talk about the fact that Mackenzie just whipped out this American
yeah.
from her pocket?
And I loved how it happened too.
Actually, it's not.
That's good.
Yeah.
I can't wait to use this on podcasts.
Actually, it's not.
Did she just have this like? Is it like an immunity idol where you have to bring it to tribal in order to use it? Like, does she have to bring it to the?
I
veto
think
meeting?
production was ready. I think that they had they had Ainsley ready to go. They had the thing in her pocket. She was ready for the America's
Honestly,
veto.
it wouldn't surprise me if that was like take 2. Like,
like
if Mackenzie was like,
she's like, it's in my room. Actually, I need a second. Yeah.
Production, I'd like to use it. And they're like, okay, everyone, stop down, come to the diary room. They give her the thing. Then she does. Actually, it's not. Like,
they definitely
I
want me to
guarantee
sit
you
here for
it's
10
not like that.
minutes.
Give her the line.
They need like the equivalent of like the survivor like bags that they take to tribal council in case they have any trinkets. Like they need to have like their own little sack.
Yeah.
Even though it's all in the house.
On the feed, she said she had to go get it from production in the middle of all this. So.
Oh, really?
I love that.
Incredible.
Flying in. Okay.
I mean, it was pretty big. I feel like that would be too bulky to like put in a pocket.
Yeah.
Do we need to do the spoiler warning here today? I mean, is there anything that we're spoiling at this point that is beyond the episode? I mean, like, because we don't even know who's on the block.
I want to do it just because I want to do the dance.
No, we'll do it. Okay. All right, here comes
Don't rob us of that.
Long distance dedication here for QT. Here's the spoiler song.
The Office of Civil Defense has issued the following message. This is
a spoiler.
Warning.
A spoiler.
Warning means that an actual
spoiler
against this country has been detected and that protective action should be taken.
Okay. All right.
Thank you for that.
Anytime, QT. Okay. All right. So, Taran, I know that the House was shooketh on Monday after the veto ceremony. And we talked about the lay of the land a little bit as we head into this potential vote on Thursday. But what's been going on today?
Well, right after that veto ceremony, they stayed put and had a House meeting where Tucker outed Quinn's power. He again called Cedric out and said, "I'm coming for you. You're my target." He basically did an Angela like Quinn, I think you are a threat, but I think you're a great guy. I think you're all great, except for you, Cedric. I'm coming for you. You're my target. And so then Quinn had to do a whole apology tour explaining why he didn't tell people about his power. There's been there was a ton of back and forth about that. And then Tucker, as we just kind of talked about, like hadn't quite gotten his fill of being mad at Cedric because Cedric was not like rising to the bait. So he went back in for round 2, again accusing Cedric of not warning him that he wasn't in on the plan anymore. And to which Cedric was like, "I did roll back the tapes." And Tucker was like, "I will watch it back and the truth will prevail." And it turns out the truth, according to Tucker, is what's going to prevail. But Cedric was telling the truth. Cedric called him a little boy, amongst other things. Or sorry, Tucker called Cedric a little boy, amongst other things.
Wait, how old is Tucker?
I don't know. Is
30,
he like
right?
30?
Is he 30?
30.
I think he's 30.
Okay.
But so there, yes, lots of drama. There's been a lot of back and forth about who to vote out, and it has landed on Kenny, primarily because Kenny is still talking about the women being in an alliance. Brooklyn called him out on that. They had a little bit of a back and forth. T-Core was mad at Chemo for not telling her about Quinn's power. They're still kind of like repairing that relationship. Rubina was told by Tucker that they would be something outside of the house, but not inside the house. And she's been campaigning for Tucker to stay, and she's mad at Quinn now. Joseph has just been like really happy about all this. Cedric is kind of back on Team Quinn after the whole thing because he feels like he needs Quinn now and Quinn needs him, and he just stood up for Quinn. It's a whole big mess, Rob. There's a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Look, remember it was only a couple days ago. We're like, is anything going to happen in this house?
And
Yeah.
that's why I think the best result is to not neutralize all of this tension so soon. Let's let it boil, and let's take out the person that doesn't even want to be there.
You know, Jenny was once a podcaster of a little show called what was it called? The Edge of what?
Beyond the Edge?
Beyond the Edge.
This is the second time that show has come up today, which is so bizarre.
Yeah, don't just like end the tension now.
No.
What you're saying, Rob, is that you want to have the crush and not the showmance.
Yes. We'll enjoy the chase.
You want the edge.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Right.
Yeah.
So is there anybody like that if we look at the people that are potentially like could go up, is there any other scenario besides Quinn? I know that QT wants Joseph. Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
But
no, I think it's gonna just be Quinn at the end of the day. Did you see? Oh gosh. Yeah, his mustache. He feels like the mustache is his saving grace for some reason. Like,
yeah.
No, yeah, I think it's definitely going to be Quinn. What I can say is that it would be fun if, even though we already know, like everyone in the house knows that Quinn has the power, he's still probably, if he's in the house next week, going to use it. It would be great if we got a Tucker HOH and then Quinn is the one like taking it over. Yeah, because then Tucker's safe from Quinn, but then it also like makes the Quinn and Tucker back and forth kind of a little bit more like interesting to watch. I think that would be fun. So that's what I'm rooting for.
That'd be best case scenario for sure.
QT is also Team Edge, and
Yes.
let's let it build
Okay.
a little bit, you know?
Yep. QT, Quinn Tucker. Keep it going for another week. Okay.
Wait, it's meant to be.
Yes. Taran, does Quinn have a sense of how much danger he's in?
Yes, he expects to go on the block. And now I know even more why.
I'll be honest, it's been real easy to lie to these people.
He knows what he's been told to say in the diary room.
Yeah, I mean, that's so interesting that he would get the sense that he's going up on the block, because I would think that Quinn would probably be thinking he's a big fan favorite.
No.
Considering the way he's acting.
That's
You
what
think
Joseph is thinking.
That's
Yes.
the way he's acting. Rob, it's so important to recognize the difference between how somebody acts like in the diary room versus how they act like on the feeds.
Around everyone.
Which is
yeah.
not to say that Quinn is not arrogant on the feeds, which he is, but not quite to this level. And so I think he very much recognizes that that this is very likely going to be him, and he's trying to make sure that he has the votes.
Mm.
But I also don't think that do you really think that Quinn is going to always say he will embellish the things, but there's got to be a little part of him that feels some of these things he's saying, right? Like he's just saying things that are completely fabricated.
I mean, he could
In the DR?
Yeah, I mean that's what happens. But
maybe I just
yeah,
have
I mean,
too much hope in it, not being like that, having a little bit of a pushback to being like, can I probably say that a different way, right?
like if you hear it in the diary room, it's more like, well, it could be true, as opposed to like it could be fake. Like it's the other way around. It's more likely to be fake. It's more likely to be what they wanted him to say than actually true. Which again, I would say I think it could be true. I think it definitely is tapping into something. I've seen his camera talks. He definitely has some unearned swagger there. But you can even hear it in this soundbite that I'm playing. Like this is not a natural cadence that he has in
Play
this
it
moment.
again.
I think a lot of his
I'll
diary
be
room
honest, it's been real easy to lie to these people.
Yeah,
This
even
is
the
really
laugh
serious
is
laughter.
It's
awkward.
giving
The laugh
Paulie
is so
Calafiore.
Yeah, it's
real easy to lie to these people.
it's very clearly
And your boy
a-
likes his lies.
It's honestly.
This was a moment that they captured from Angela when they were talking about Angela was losing it.
Heart, little mama.
What?
You know,
also totally worth noting that like a line like that, it's easy to lie to these people. It's being played in a moment where he's so clearly being caught lying, but he's probably referencing something entirely different where people were buying what he was selling.
Yeah.
That is the thing. It's like you have no context for when some of these diary rooms were taken. So yeah.
One of the
Unless
fun
it was in an
things
outfit.
for our chatters here on YouTube is that if you jump in late, Ainsley is on YouTube also. And sometimes the YouTube AI will tell you in the chat, in case you missed something, what people are talking about. I love when people send us during the show. Purple Mario sent this to me and grabs this clip that says, viewers in the chat are discussing who they think will go on the block, with many wanting Kenny to be voted out. Tucker and Chemo are also popular targets, as are MJ Gummies in California.
When did we utter the word California?
I don't know.
MJ
MJ
Gummies.
Gummies are popular.
I feel like Tucker might even have
I
a channel
get it.
about MJ.
Yeah, Tucker
Gummies.
knows about the MJ Gummies.
Yeah,
Sure.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
interested in the MJ Gummies.
So, all right, good to know. All right, anything else as we head into a day of intrigue on Thursday night?
I'm excited for
mean-
tomorrow's episode and
Yeah.
to see what they put in it. I mean, like Taran explained everything that happened, but I'm sure like not even half of it will be in the episode. But it was exciting to watch on feeds at least. That's why you got to watch the feeds.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and I would say again, like it's hard for me to judge what this episode feels like without knowing all of the other stuff. So it's like, from my perspective, this was a disappointment because I like foolishly got my hopes up that this would be a very like fun and fulfilling episode. But this probably was, I would assume, a very fun episode for most people that did not have that extra stuff, because it still was. It was a good ceremony.
Yeah.
I mean, all
the
of the
last
stuff that
15
Tucker's
minutes.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The first 45 was like kind of a snoozer.
What if we get
my
some
problem
black
with
and
it.
white tomorrow, Taran, to like fill in? Because they always have to do the veto meeting at the end, and maybe they just like they're gonna do a little bit of post veto, and then I'm really big on the like flashback edit right now. So it would be fun if they could just give us like some like previous context in like black and white in the next video. In the next
Not really
episode.
something they tend to do.
No, but a girl
but
can
yeah.
dream.
Yeah.
I just love when they do that.
There's a lot to do in the Thursday episode, between naming the third nominee, the AI arena competition, the vote, the interview, and also like any other fallout, the arguments, the campaign. Like, it's going to be very packed to begin with.
Okay. All right. Well, it'll be a busy day Thursday night, and you're not going to want to miss any of the coverage. Of course, Taran will kick it off in the morning at 11 a.m. Eastern with what's the latest overnight as we head into Thursday. And then we'll be live after the episode at 9:15 p.m. Eastern time. Make sure you don't miss any of our Big Brother coverage when you go to robertswebsite.com/BB26. Or if you're on YouTube, hit that subscribe button to get everything we're doing here all summer long. Okay? Then we've got also coming up, it's, we had a very sloppy episode on Monday as America Lopez joined Chappelle and myself. And we talked about, really, we got into a lot of what Matt's been doing on TikTok. If you've caught any of that. Jenny, if you
Very
haven't
little
seen
clothing.
it's hilarious. Matt is crushing the content game over on TikTok, and gave us a lot to talk about on the slop and much more. So check that out. Patrons, robertswebsite.com/patron, one of the 2 exclusive Big Brother shows that we do on Patreon, including our BBQ&A, which comes out on Friday when Taran and I take your Big Brother questions live at 3 p.m. Eastern. Earlier tonight, the Wand-Off was back. If you don't know what the Wand-Off is, if you're a newer listener, for many years during Survivor, Josh Wigler and I had a Survivor song parody contest. And we brought it back tonight to celebrate the new era on the summer of Survivor. We did not want to lose our YouTube channel, so that was a Twitch exclusive, but we posted the full video and also the SoundCloud playlist of all 40-something songs. That's all at robinswebsite.com/patron, and you can get that for free at robinswebsite.com/patron if you want to see the video, or the podcast is up now. Then, Jenny, you and I got to get together. Shannon Gus from the Summer of Survivor is going to join us for what should be another fun night of Claim to Fame. People in the chat were saying it was a good episode tonight, Jenny, so I can't wait to get into it with you.
Listen, Claim to Fame has been delivering, and my hopes are still very high. You know, they don't let me down. They like to do the little flashback edit that I was talking about. So I'm hoping for more of that in tonight's episode, and it should be a good time with you and Shannon to
QT, do you watch Claim to Fame?
I normally do. I was going to say I haven't watched this season yet. I watched a little bit of the first episode, but haven't really gotten into it. Is it as good as the last 2?
It's been a wild season.
It picked up. The
Really?
premiere, I feel like the premiere wasn't as good as the premieres of the last 2 seasons, but the season as a whole so far has been very fun.
And I don't want to speak for Jenny. I think that we have maybe have had other favorites on the previous seasons in terms of like rootable characters, but it has been a very interesting game.
Yeah.
Okay. I feel like I don't know any of these people. Like I genuinely have no idea who anyone is related to. Where on the other seasons there was like at least one or two. You're like, okay,
They gave you a
that's
couple
Simone
of free
Biles'
spaces.
sister. Yeah.
Yeah.
Louise. Okay. All right. And then, of course, become a patron for everything we have going on. Also going to get to a patron 5 for 5 with the First Lady of Podcasting, who also joined us over on We Know Scripted TV earlier today when I spoke with Josh about this week of House of the Dragon. My wife, very into all things House of the Dragon, and we got the chance to talk with her on We Know Scripted TV. All right, QT, what's coming up for you?
Before I say what's coming up for me, there's something I forgot to mention. I just want to say justice for Chemo and his crush on Tucker, because as someone who had a crush on a reality TV show, I know it makes you do some crazy stuff. So just want to say
Yours
that.
was
Shout out to Chemo.
reciprocated, though.
That's true.
Yeah.
At least. But still, it makes your like mind go a little
well,
crazy.
as somebody who has not had their crushes reciprocated on reality TV, justice for Chemo.
Just justice for Chemo all around.
Exactly.
But anything going on with me you can find on my Instagram, Corey Tyler. That's there. Also, I'm doing a lot of book content on my YouTube. It's just my name, Corey Tyler. I feel like I'm always plugging that because I'm just always reading and talking about books and stuff. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. How many notes did you take tonight?
I was going to say I took no notes. I didn't take any written notes, but I always have like a bunch of notes going on somewhere, you know? And I have my Tucker
You're
list
very
too.
prepared.
Yeah. On my things Tucker likes list, I have puzzles, biscuits, and not Leah. Yikes.
And now not Cedric.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta add that. Thanks, Jenny.
Okay. Jenny, of course, Claim to Fame coming up. That's going to drop tomorrow morning. What else?
That's pretty much, that's the passion project, Rob. You
Jenny
know how I
Autumn
feel.
is the #1 Claim to Fame expert in the world.
That's a big title. I don't know if I can wear that crown, but I'm certainly passionate about it. And
that's why you must wear the crown, because you're reluctant to have it.
Okay. I see your point. Listen, I'm not going to argue with you, Rob. Yeah, it's been really fun covering the show. It's honestly like an unexpectedly strategic and entertaining television product. I highly recommend it if you want something else in between all of the BB26 consumption. Rob has a website.com/fame feed, I believe is our dedicated Claim to Fame feed.
Mm-hmm.
And you can follow me on social media at Jenny Autumn. And I had a great time chatting Big Brother tonight. It's
always fun to get you back on the recap, Jenny.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. And then Taran, what's next for you? Are you feeling better?
I'm feeling better. Also, Rob, I don't know if you saw this one, but I was sent another chat summary, which was
good.
Viewers are discussing the house guests' actions and personalities, Tucker's personality, Chemo's big age, and Rob's sax playing are among the topics of conversation.
Yes, okay.
Listen, better sax playing than
I was worried. Yeah. Okay. So look, I'll play the sax anytime for the listeners. They like it.
So what I've got going on is you can find me on Twitch.
Drown it out.
I'll be hanging out, watching episodes, playing games, doing all kinds of fun stuff over there. Find the scripted coverage we do for House of the Dragon. We just recorded the book club podcast. We've got a little bit more coming your way as well. And of course, the Tastemakers, where we talk about what's worth watching in the first place when there's so much on TV. And we also recorded about the Getaway finale with the Wendover man himself, Sam. We talked about the finale, and then we also recently talked to the 3 finalists, and it was a very fun podcast, a little mini reunion for the Getaway. So make sure you check that out as well.
Okay, yeah, Nicole's waiting on that book club, Taran. Okay,
listen, it's coming.
Okay. All right. Thank you all so much for joining us here tonight. We'd love to read your comments here on YouTube, even after the show. And we'd love to hear from you. And we'll be back tomorrow night to talk about whatever happens. And then on Friday, Taran and I will talk to whoever gets voted out on Thursday. So a lot to do still here this week. So thank you for joining us. Take care. Have a good one. Bye.